Gonna really make it weird, isn't he? He's just gonna make it weird for us. It's not gonna be easy with Rodgers, that's for sure. What's happening? 10:03 on the Fan. How's everybody doing today? Tiki and Tierney show. I am completely convinced he's gonna play.
Of course he's gonna play.
Okay.
There's 150 million reasons why he's going to play. Is that what's left on his deal? Whatever it is. There's a ton of money left on his deal. He's playing football, BT. We know that.
I'm also
Go ahead.
completely convinced that he is reconciled within that he's got to move on from Green Bay.
It feels like it.
It sounds that way a bit, but boy, this is a little weird.
BT.
Aubrey Marcus, a holistic healer.
That's Aaron Rodgers' new best friend.
It's his buddy.
It's not Pat McAfee any longer.
It's not Rappaport, not Schefter.
It's Aubrey Marcus.
It's Aubrey Marcus.
Look, we remember this, BT, back in 2000, was it 10? Yes, 2010. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember, but I knew it was profound. And it even has a wiki page now. It was called The Decision. You remember The Decision?
Yeah.
LeBron James making a decision up in Bristol, Connecticut.
It was Greenwich, I believe, the Boys and Girls Club in Connecticut. I don't think it was as far up in Bristol, but it was definitely Connecticut.
Wherever it was,
yeah, I got
definitely
you.
up in Connecticut.
Yep.
He was going to determine where his future was going to be, playing basketball. And there was some charity components to it. So while it was corny and stupid, albeit innovative at the time, at least it had some utility for somebody else other than LeBron James. And he decided, I'm taking my talents down to Miami. And we all kind of just like, oh, come on, LeBron. Rolled your eyes. Good luck winning all the championships. The 1, 2, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 25. But it was LeBron James. And it was kind of unique. This Aaron Rodgers situation is The Decision, only worse, because Aaron Rodgers is going to play for maybe 2 years, and Aaron Rodgers has this passive-aggressive, I don't care if you care, but I'm going to make you care because I'm Aaron Rodgers and I care about myself and this is my life, but I'm going to talk about it even though I want it to be private. Why in the world the New York Jets and Jet fans and the Jet organization and the Jet locker room would sign up for this kind of drama, I am beyond understanding. I just don't get it. Why for 2 seasons? Maybe. Now, he'll be great, of course, on the field. I mean, what is it?
You just answered your question.
But why?
He'll be great.
Why? Okay, you're going to get a blip, and then you're going to hit a tro, and it's going to be so low and so disappointing, and you're going to have earned it because you clamored so much for a guy who is only caring about himself, period. I get it. I get that Aaron Rodgers is a great player. If he's here, it'll be interesting. But all of this other stuff that is bound to come to me, it's not worth it. There's something to cohesion and a team that Aaron Rodgers just doesn't seem to fit for me.
I'm going to take my chances. I mean, listen, I'm too deep into the pool. I'm soaking wet. I'm not getting out now. I get it. He's on.
You didn't even put the bathing suit on yet.
Give me some floaties.
Exactly.
We're going to be drowning soon with this guy.
He's not indicated that he's coming here. He's not indicated that
I agree with
he
that.
wants to be a Jet. You
but
have
he
no
also
idea. You just got a pipe dream right now.
I got to play this out. I have to. I owe it to. I'm answering this, and I'm looking at this from the perspective of ownership and from the general manager. I owe it to ourselves, meaning the Jets organization, and I owe it to our fans to see this out. I understand it might not be on the timeline that everybody wants, although there's got to be a drop-dead date. And I told you we'll get an answer soon, and this was the start to the answer. He's not going to drag this out. We'll play the cut for you. He talked about when Brett Favre came here. He's not going to do that. He's got his decision. Now he wants to string it out a few more days. He wants to be the top. But he's a little self-absorbed. I'll give you that. What athlete isn't? Tom Brady wasn't all these years.
What quarterback
into his mid-40s?
But what quarterback? No,
Tom Brady retired, then he unretired.
Yeah,
At least Aaron Rodgers is still active.
Tom Brady, what do you mean, from when he left the Patriots?
Tom Brady last offseason retired and then said, no, I'm actually going to unretire.
I think
we were okay with that. Why? Because Tom Brady's just a little more forceful, a little less weird.
No.
So what?
No, I think there were other issues going on. We all know what they were. Yes, it's his divorce, but it's the other stuff as well. I think there was a reason that he came back from that retirement. But that's not this conversation. the conversation with Tom Brady is that he went to Tampa and he won a Super Bowl. So no matter what happened in the subsequent couple of years, it was worth it.
Well, give Aaron Rodgers a chance to win a Super Bowl here. Why do you think I'm playing this stupid game? Trust me, Tiki, if I had my wishes, Zach Wilson would be the guy. You know, the guy that they drafted a couple of years ago who looked pretty good when he walked across stage.
At this point, I almost
got the Jets hat.
I'm almost more willing to give Zach Wilson the chance.
Stop
than Aaron
with that
Rodgers.
nonsense. Let me ask you a serious question.
That's a
by
joke,
the way,
by the way.
I know it is. I give you this. It's not ideal. I give you that. You know, I'm not trying to obscure that fact. It's not ideal. He's not young. He has not come across as incredibly emotionally reliable the last year or two, maybe even 3. These are all things that I say, yep, Tiki's right. And those dissenting voices about Rodgers coming to the Jets, you're right. I'm not trying to fight that. But I need an answer before I check out. And he's not rendered an answer yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He's the best option, and that's it.
But to me, this feels like he's trying so hard to make this about him. And I think for a team that is growing, or at least trying to grow into a consistently good program, an organization that's trying to shed this label of the same old Jets, whatever that means in your interpretation of the same old Jets. They're trying to find consistent relevancy in a crowded AFC, but even in just an NFL world. And to bring this type of
enigma?
Yeah, that's a good word, because it's going to be good at moments, but it's also going to be really distracting at other moments.
See, I don't agree with that.
Is that worth it for 2 years?
But why is it going to? Boy, we've had this conversation for a while, but why is it going to be distracting? I want a tangible answer.
Because if he does all of these things that he's been doing, from Pat McAfee show where he's talking about his team and his teammates and everything else, for an organization that's not used to it in a major media market where it's going to generate tons and tons of comments and opinions and interpretations. I feel like it's going to be disruptive to what they're trying to do, what they're trying to build. And it's funny because when you think about the other options for Aaron Rodgers outside of Green Bay, because I agree with you, BT. I think he's leaving Green Bay now. Before yesterday, I would have said I think he's probably going to stay at Green Bay, but after the finality which he kind of spoke, it kind of feels like he's leaving Green Bay. But that's neither here nor there.
We're going to play it for you in a minute, by the way, if you guys haven't heard it.
So the Raiders, and you're hearing Josh McDaniels, who is being prudent maybe for the first time as a head coach, saying, I need somebody that's going to be here for a long time and that I can mold and they can buy in. And that's likely not Aaron Rodgers. That's why Peter King said that the Raiders are likely out on Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see. But I think the bigger story is that general managers and teams, owners are starting to say, is it really worth bringing in? He's an all-time great, but is it really worth bringing in Aaron Rodgers with all that comes with him? Yes, on field, it'll be fine, we think. But is it worth it?
Okay.
And that's a serious question that I think organizations have to answer right now.
I agree, but the answer is different for the organizations based on the circumstances of the different organizations. Number one, not every organization's GM and head coach are battling for their lives. Number one. Number two, not every organization is trying to rehab a kid who's been a colossal disappointment bust as the second overall pick. Not every team is trying to separate themselves from as tortured a past as any team in any sport in North America.
And by the way, all those scenarios or all those situations that you gave, they're unique to one team in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Period.
I mean, listen, now the Raiders, they've been tortured to an extent for sure, but they don't have some young kid who just bombed after 2 years of doing absolutely nothing, and you invested everything in him. McDaniels is going into year number 2. It's different than going into year number 3. They got rid of their GM. I mean, Mike Mayock's gone. They've already kind of, flipped the cart there. So I get it. I get the resistance. I do. But I guess I'm just here for the pain. I guess that's what it comes down to. I guess I I am willing to try to circumvent the years of torture and the years of disconnect. I view this as not only a Band-Aid, which I do, but again, a Band-Aid implies negative because a Band-Aid's a temporary clotting.
But it is going to be.
It is, but sometimes Band-Aids are good if they're a bridge to something good as well. And again, you know what I'm about to say. Take the words out of my mouth. I'm not giving up on who?
Zach.
Yes. And everybody else does not give me the chance. Derek Carr, Zach gone. And you guys could think that I'm nuts, that I'm still holding on to this hope that Zach Wilson can be salvaged. I believe that. You want me to get on the air and lie? I might be dead wrong.
You're going to die on your shield on that
I'm
one.
going to, and I don't like to die. Listen, a lot of hills, I've gotten less stubborn as I've gotten older, and I'm not as willing to die on dumb hills. Understood. But I'm sorry. It's just I'm not throwing the kid to the side. I'm not. And the only way I could do that is if I bring Aaron Rodgers here. Oh yeah, by the way, who's also the best option of anybody out there in the NFL? Anybody. He better than Corey, he's better than everybody. So to me, I don't understand what the confusion is. I don't understand what the angst is.
Well,
if I'm the Jet fan I'm going to be the one who's going to go through this emotionally, and I'm okay with it. Why is the Giant fan so worried about this?
I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying I don't understand why the Jet fan, why the Jet organization, why Woody Johnson or whoever, Robert Saleh, who's going to have to coach this guy, Nathaniel Hackett, who probably knows him, so it's a little bit different with Nathaniel Hackett, why you would want the potential distraction.
Because you want to win.
I mean, there's so
because you want to win. That's the answer.
So it's binary. It's you win with Aaron Rodgers, or you don't want Aaron Rodgers because you're worried about the distraction and the other stuff that could come with having Aaron Rodgers here, because he really has become a me guy. I never thought that Aaron Rodgers was that guy. I always thought it was always about the team. Remember the whole relax thing? It was always, we're going to figure this out. We're going to find a way to get it done. But the last couple of years, and maybe it's because he got pissed off because they drafted Jordan Love in the first round instead of getting a wide receiver. He started to become a me guy. And it culminated every Tuesday or whatever day he went on with Pat McAfee. He had to be the focal point. Even when they weren't good, we were talking about Aaron. It was always about him. It was never about the team. He got criticized by Gronk because he says, I think I can still win an MVP. Okay, forget the MVP.
He was asked that question, by the way. He was asked, what level can he individually still play at? Yes. So he answered the question.
Yeah,
by the way, Gronk, enough. I play, I retire. So Gronk suddenly the moral compass for those who are fully invested in their career?
But by the way, I agreed with him. Why the hell do you care about winning MVP?
He was asked a question.
Okay, I don't care.
I know you could deflect to the team. I know what you're saying there.
You push to your team unless you're worried about yourself. And quarterbacks,
why can't you be worried about both? Don't you think if you win the MVP,
because
your team's
it never
gonna
works.
Kick ass?
It never works. It never works. Russell Wilson became overly obsessed with himself.
He doesn't have 50% of the talent Aaron Rodgers has.
But he's a damn good quarterback.
He ain't as good as Rodgers,
and
he's not even close.
And he's been to more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers
because of the team around them.
It doesn't matter.
But no, it does, though.
The team
That's
matters.
why he wants out of Green
But
Bay.
the team matters. Russell Wilson started focusing on himself, and it led immediately to his demise. Immediately. And for some reason, Aaron Rodgers has become a me guy. And I don't know if I love that for the New York Jets.
877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. So he spoke, didn't say a whole lot. We interpret. Gary, Mount Sinai. What's going on, Gary?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Dude,
what's up, Gary?
What's up?
Listen, I'd like to play the devil's advocate here. Since Rodgers came out of his magic mushroom retreat, and on his podcast, he stated that, within a week, he'd make a decision and let the, field know what's going on. Listen, Carr's going to have a second interview this week with the Jets.
Yep.
Tell me something. If he decided to come to the Jets, and he knew Carr was going in for his second interview with the Jets, which hopefully they would make an offer after the second interview, or else they wouldn't be calling him back for his second interview.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he really wants to come to the Jets? Do you think he would lose that opportunity to come to the Jets, knowing that Carr's going to have his second interview, and if the Jets offer Carr the job, do you think they're going to renege on that contract if a week and a half later,
No.
he decides to come back and
No.
say, yeah, I want to go?
Well, I don't think they're going to make that offer. I'm less convinced that they're going to do that. The Jets are this deep into the process of evaluating Rodgers' future that they're going to get the definitive answer before they do anything. Mm-hmm. I've seen it like that from day one,
and they're willing.
I've said that from day one.
They're willing to risk losing the opportunity with Derek Carr.
And so am I, by the way. Derek Carr is good. Derek Carr is not great. So let's not overstate who Derek Carr is. I mean, it's not like, I don't know what the good comparison would be. Say like two young pitching aces were on the market, right? Like take a young Cole and let's take a young Scherzer. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously Cole's younger than Scherzer, but take Cole 3-4 years ago and take Scherzer 5 years ago. And they're both out there. Okay, if you're going to risk losing both, that's a different set of circumstances. But if it's a young Cole and a Chris Bassett, I mean, Derek Carr is slightly better than Chris Bassett, but you get the point. There's an appreciable drop-off from Rodgers to Carr. So it's a different evaluation, and there's a different level of patience with Aaron Rodgers, or at least there should be, and I think that there is. I think everything the Jets have done or have not done, validates what I just said. That's what they're doing. Their playbook is so open. It's so transparent, and I agree with it. Justin's in Patterson. What's going on, Justin? How are you, pal?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
All right.
Tiki, loved watching you play for the Giants. You were my favorite player growing up.
I appreciate that.
Brandon, let me give you a comparison. You could shoot it down right away, but there's a quarterback who never won a playoff game, always had terrible defenses, and then he gets traded, and he's a Super Bowl champion. That's Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's Matthew Stafford, but I think if you put Derek Carr in the right situation, he can win a playoff game. Because the idea, he hasn't won a playoff game, yes, but look at what's been around him. In his best year, he was also injured for that playoff run. I think I understand why you go all in for Rodgers. I get that argument. But I do think Derek Carr's better than people have given credit for him, and he's never had a top 20 defense in his whole career.
Yeah, I remember saying that 3 weeks ago, and that's been repeated a lot.
I agree with statistics with the special teams graded out from EPA. It's the worst ever over the last 9 years, 32nd over the last 9 years for Derek Carr. So you're right about that. Look, it's interesting, Justin, because the Matthew Stafford comparison is a great one. Everybody knew that Matthew Stafford was a good quarterback, maybe not an elite quarterback. He was always hurt. Bad defenses around him. Had one or two superstars on offense. But in our minds, we kept saying, okay, he can be really great. He can make the Pro Bowl. He can be an all-pro, whatever. He's never winning a championship until he had the right team around him. So Derek Carr could be like Matt Stafford. He might not be as good as Matt Stafford, but with the Jets and the talent that they have on the team and the acumen of team building that you have with Joe Douglas, it almost lifts him. Just like the Los Angeles Rams lifted Matthew Stafford and put him in position to be elite. The Jets could be that for Derek Carr. And that's that. I'd rather bet on that than bet on the enigma, to use your word, that Aaron Rodgers has become.
877-337-6666. I think this is the most fascinating game of chicken, very compelling, that we've seen in a long time here. Someone's blinking first. Somebody's flinching. Whether it's Douglas, whether it's Carr, whether it's Rodgers, somebody is going to realize that the timing is no longer on their side. Who is it going to be? I don't think it's going to be the Jets. I don't. 877-337-6666.